Within the past couple decades, mobile games have become largely popularized. According to Udonis, mobile games brought in around $92.2 billion in revenue in 2022. Of these popular games is Subway Surfers. Subway Surfers is an endless runner mobile game launched in 2012. The main menu depicts a character vandalizing the side of a subway train in a city. The game starts with the character getting caught by the subway guard and dog on the leash. The character then begins to run away, at which point the player has control of the character. The point of the game is to run as long as possible without crashing into the various obstacles and barriers, all the while collecting as many coins, power-ups, and collectibles along the path as possible. But Subway Surfers did not become popular for no reason. What led to the widespread enjoyment of the game was the intentional psychology used throughout. In this video, we'll be breaking down the game into the psychological components of nostalgia, grind, and keeping score. As a child, I would spend some time playing games on my DS and iPad. As I have gotten older, I started to move away from spending time on video games. But if I were in the mood to play a mobile game, I'd find myself coming back to Subway Surfers. Why? Well, part of the reason is because it's a relatively simple game, but another part is because it reminds me of the times when I played as a child. The competition between friends, the simpler times, it all brings back a sense of nostalgia. But what is nostalgia exactly? Nostalgia is a positive feeling or sense of longing for the past. This phenomenon is usually attributed to a social connection and can be used to cope with feelings of loneliness. In the case of Subway Surfers, the game stirs up those nostalgic feelings, which in turn keeps me coming back to play. But nostalgia isn't the only thing that brings us back to the game time and time again. The game design is important too. Players can spend hours and hours on end repeating the same few motions like jumps, ducks, and sideswipes through repeating environments until they end the game by making a mistake and getting caught by the guard and his dog. One of the reasons why individuals can spend so much time on such a repetitive game is that the game plays on the intrinsic motivations of the self-determination theory, which is a simple framework of the factors necessary to satisfy human needs. These factors are competence, autonomy, and relatedness. In terms of competence, for instance, the game always starts at the same slow runner speed and increases the runner speed over time. This allows individuals, especially beginners, to feel competent enough to play the game, all the while making the game progressively get harder the longer it is played. This in turn allows more experienced players to feel challenged when they are experiencing the faster speeds, and it motivates them to continue playing. If the game kept the same runner speed throughout the whole play, more experienced players would think the game too easy and not be motivated to continue playing. The opposite is true for beginners. If the game started at faster speeds, they'd be discouraged to play the game because it would feel too difficult. Furthermore, a sense of autonomy is established in that the player is able to make decisions. This is increased by the fact that the mobile game is a single-player game, and that the player doesn't have to worry about how their decisions affect other people. But one of the more physically obvious uses of psychology is the game's use of extrinsic motivation. The game utilizes various prizes like daily rewards for logging into the game, collection of coins and collectibles to unlock different rewards or new characters and accessories. The rewards are broken up into smaller, easier to manage accomplishments with progress bars to encourage further gameplay. They also incorporate the idea of social comparison theory, which states that humans want to objectively compare their abilities with others. This can be seen in leaderboards, where you are ranked by your performance and can compare your game score to players in different ranking tiers all around the world, like the gold, silver, and bronze tiers. Furthermore, this need of comparing ourselves to others is amplified in the tab to compare our scores with our friends, because it's a smaller pool of people who we know more intimately, and it has more value to us than random names from around the world. It also encourages competition and motivates us to beat our friends' scores, which makes individuals more likely to keep playing the game. In all, Subway Surfers did not become popular for no reason. Their game was designed purposefully to meet universal human motivations to encourage continued play, and because it has been around for over a decade now, it brings up feelings of nostalgia that in turn can increase chances of coming back to the game over and over again.